Can you hear me? Oh. Hi, Mr. Kirk. I'm a student here, and I really appreciate you being here today to speak with us. I care a lot about protecting children and know that you value life as well. I understand that mental health and drug issues are a big part of the violence that we see every day in America, and I know that there's no black and white solution, but wouldn't implementing stronger background checks, especially for high powered weapons like AK 47s, be a more reasonable and effective step to prevent school shootings and protect the children?
Sure, fine. So first of all, it is very difficult to purchase an AK-47. You're probably talking about an AR-15. That's probably what you're talking about, which is not an AK-47. We do have those background checks in a lot of states. I do have to ask, do you feel safe in California walking the streets at night in Los Angeles as a woman?
It depends which area.
How about right near the downtown convention center?
Not necessarily, no.
So remember, our goal is a safe society. So just stricter gun laws does not always equal a safer society. That's just number one.
Yeah,
And
that's what I said. That's why I said that. I know that mental health is a big issue.
huge.
But for instance, I have a 10-year-old little sister, and every day me and my parents stress about sending her to school for what could
Got
happen
it.
to her.
That's a real question. Let me ask you, does that school have an armed guard?
I'm not entirely
That's
sure.
why you're stressing.
That's a fair point.
Why do we protect our banks, our airports, and our sports stadiums with people with guns, but not our schools?
I think that that's a fair point,
Makes
and
sense.
that
And I'm not discounting, the background check thing, but it's incredible moral perversion. You can't get in a Dodger Stadium without seeing 50 cop cars and people with guns everywhere. You can't go to LAX without going through basically a demilitarized zone. But you could go into a local Long Beach elementary school, and we decide to not protect our kids. So we protect our airplanes and our sports teams, but we don't protect our own children. And so you care about protecting children. I think that we should basically lock down these schools. People say, oh, I don't want our schools to be militarized. Well, then you don't want to protect our kids? You don't think you want your money to be protected at your bank? You want the payday lender to be protected, but you don't want your own children to be protected. So that's my number one solution, all that. And then I would end on to it. Listen, a lot of mental health problems. I have a different view. I think gun ownership is a right, not a privilege, and I don't think the government should get in the way of our right to be able to own firearms.
So, what do you think that do you think that the government should get involved in adding armed guards to schools, or why
Yes.
isn't this more talked about? Because
Oh,
I feel like
in other states it is. Gavin Newsom would refuse to do this, of course. But in other states, after big school shootings, they have police officers parked outside. And in fact, school resource officers with guns have shown to prevent school shootings, limit school shootings, or even intervene before the school shooting happens. And it's going to show that these awful tragedies go from maybe 1 or 2 students dying, which is horrific, which it could have been 30 or 40 students dying, right? And so, again, at the fundamental core of it, which is your astute observation, almost every single case of these school shootings, there are some exceptions, they get the guns from their parents. It's also these kids that are in a very, very dark and troubled place. And almost always, there's warning, there's troubling signs, there are issues ahead of time that are ignored. Thank you so much. God bless you.
you.
Thank you.
I agree with Charlie when he, spoke about the gun control. I think it would not be wise to prevent people from owning a gun. You understand? That is, I believe everyone should be able to defend themselves. But the process of getting a gun should be thoroughly checked. You understand? It's just like driving a car. We know different pedestrians are on the way. We know different drivers are also on the way. So before you are legally allowed to drive, you need to have a valid license. You need to, the state need to know that, yes, you are mentally okay, your eyesight is okay, you understand the road sign, you understand, what it takes to be a driver. You can do basic maintenance, just like checking your oil, checking your coolant level, and checking if your tire is fit, and having some basic things like spare tire, hazard sign, and those other things. You understand? It shows you are, at least it makes you prepared, to have a license. These are just basic things just to own a license. Then I think we should do the same thing with our students. Let's try and protect our future generation. According to what Charlie said, if we have security men in school, give them weapon. let them be able to protect the students. That is it. If they have weapon, I think there will be law and order in school. A certain situation happened in Nigeria a few weeks ago, whereby some group of people came into a village with petrol and set ablaze the full village, you understand, unaliving almost 200 people, simply because the people had nothing to defend themselves with. And this is why I love American. As far as you are mentally okay, you request for a gun, you have been given a gun to defend yourself. Because you can't tell me 200 people were unalive, including children and women. No one could just defend themselves because these guys were heavily armed. You set these people ablaze alive, and this is just, it's crazy. And that is why I think I love Americans. So people kicking against owning a gun, they need to watch out, because you never can tell. The government can't do everything for you. They can't protect you. Sometimes you need to be able to protect yourself if situation like this arises. You understand? Because in the society we live in, or in the world we live in now, war can just all of a sudden happen. And if you can't protect yourself, the government cannot protect you. The government are looking for security personnel to protect them in case of war. So if the security personnel are protecting the government, who is going to protect you? So if this weapon are being given to individuals, I know the government, maybe people might get it in maybe dubious ways, but I know there are processes, to ensure that people that have license or have rights to own this weapon are able to use it. I don't know. That is just my take. And I think I love how Charlie was able to address this lady, give her reasons why she feel like schools need to protect themselves. Because if we can protect our money, protect our airports, we should also protect our future generations. Anyway, this is beautiful. I love this, and I want to see more videos like this. If you have any recommendation, let me know in the comment section. If it is the first time visiting the channel, click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remain blessed.